So welcome again to Taxes and Touchline. Today, we want to look at Real Madrid. We know this Real Madrid team has been the team, anytime it comes to the Champions League, they are the team to beat. But their head coach, Carlo Ancelotti, has been a winner for them, trying to get them every Champions League trophy available. But now things are not working. We have a whole lot of new boys coming in. And now there have been rumors that after the Copa del Rey game, Ancelotti may lose his job at Real Madrid. And there have been names coming up. We've heard of the Jurgen Klopp, we've heard of the Xabi Alonso's and other names coming up. Let's look at Ancelotti's career, especially this season for Real Madrid. We'll be looking at one, what his problem has been, and two, how he didn't get his tactics right. And also we'll look at the options of some of the coaches being mentioned. So we'll start with this season, his season in review, what he did wrong that really affected this Real Madrid team. Now they are missing out of the Champions League, and the La Liga is also far from them. Real Madrid are going trophyless this season. What did Ancelotti do wrong? So let me start with Raf. Carlo Ancelotti has been one of the best coaches when it comes to the Champions League and even all the leagues around the world. This season, he had a lot of new players in the setup. The Kylian Mbappe is coming in. Last season, we saw Jude Bellingham, Vinicius, all these players. What do you think has been Ancelotti's problem this season?
Okay, so Ancelotti is a master of the game. I mean, he understands his game. He's this charismatic. He's not a charismatic, but he's the pragmatic type that believes that whatever works for him, he follows that same procedure. Yeah. Now, if you look at Luka Modric in that midfield, he has trusted Luka Modric, even though Modric was not playing well. But as for Luka Modric, Florentino Perez has a personal soft spot for that guy. When his contract is about to run down, he extends it by 1 year. And I don't know if the players that are supposed to understudy him to look at how he plays. But then you can see that there are games where he needed Ada Goulet to come on and showcase what the guy can do. There are games where he needed Endrick to come on. But then he didn't trust them that much. That's what I'm saying. He's that type of manager who believes that you don't change a winning team. That mentality, he has that mentality with him. Or moreover, one other factor that affected him mostly was injuries. I mean, Militao, he's one of the best centre-backs for him. Dani Carvajal going out of the season. The left-back position, he has experimented with Mendy, Fran Garcia, and David Alaba. The Alaba coming back from that ACL injury, he didn't give his 100%. So aside he not having faith and confidence in the players, another aspect that also went against Carlo Ancelotti were the injuries. But with Real Madrid and Florentino Perez, it's a high demanding job. That particular Real Madrid is a very high demanding role or a job to take. So when you go trophy, he won a trophy last season, but this season is not doing well, and all of a sudden they're calling for his head. So I feel, and also another problem he's trying to figure out, which they have decided to just away from the media a little bit, has been Jude Bellingham, Vinny Jr., and to some extent Rodrigo and Bellingham. I mean, when they were playing against Arsenal, I don't know if I told, if not this, or I told a friend of mine, Ancelotti asked Bellingham to drop deep to help in defending. The guy nodded. He said, no, he didn't drop. That will tell you that Bellingham joining Real Madrid has gotten this type of ego. He feels that he's bigger. He wants to compete. I mean, last season, how Bellingham was scoring, he feels like the more he scores, the more his name goes high in terms of the PR. I mean, exactly. But Bellingham at Dortmund was a central midfielder. He can play as a defensive midfielder, a solid one. But now he wants to compete with Jude Bellingham and the Vinny Juniors and the Mbappes with goals. And it is taking something away from their game. So mostly that is one thing that they've also been trying to figure out. With Mbappe also trying to settle, Vinny Jr. trying to score. All those things are managerial issues that he has to deal with. But I mean, maybe to take time. But this season, I feel that is it. Ancelotti has to let another person come in with a fresh brain who's going to revive the team up again.
Okay, Prince, with this Real Madrid team, do you think this season, we saw the last season, the team performed so well by winning the Champions League. And the addition of Kylian Mbappe, everyone was looking at, they are building a team nobody can stop. But at this moment, this team has been so easy to the extent that Valencia, there are other clubs who go just to the Bernabéu and just win. Do you think ego has been the biggest problem for Ancelotti this season?
I was actually going to mention that. I think there's so much ego in the dressing room, and it's finally difficult to manage the ego of the players, especially with the introduction of Mbappe. Mbappe is a high-profile player, and when you look at someone like Vinicius, Vinicius has carried this Madrid team for all these years. I think they've won Champions League twice in a row, or maybe 2 times in 3 years. And
Yes.
all this while has been Vinicius carrying the team on his shoulders. So if you bring an Mbappe in and Mbappe is earning more, and you want to extend his contract, he clearly said that he wants to earn more than Mbappe, and they are looking at this contract situation now. You understand? Because it feels like he's doing much, and he needs to be on that level in terms of wages. So I think the ego is playing so much part, or causing so much problem in the dressing room, as well as I think the materials he needs as a coach, he's not getting it. He's not getting the materials. I don't know why they didn't go for some other players, and I don't know why Madrid is tending to be a team that always want to go for the freebies. I just don't know why you want to let the players' contracts run out and go and take the player or just for free. They almost did some to Leniero before he joined Manchester United. They wanted the guy to run out his contract and go and take him free. They are
doing it to Trent.
Yes. I don't know. They want to let the players run out. They give them a signing on bonus huge, and they take them on free. It doesn't help, because when you do that, you don't get a value out of the player. You get it. And now Ancelotti is calling for players because he needs backup. How can you have Valverde playing right back? It doesn't make the midfield solid. You get it. So I believe Florentino Perez also has some questions to answer, because if you clearly want some players on a free, coming in free, it doesn't help. Spend some money, get some of these quality players to join a team and spice up. I think it was good Toni Kroos left, because it would have been a bad season for him retiring. You get it. So I believe one or two things need to be put in place more. Even if they are going to get a new manager, he will come and meet this mess and this ego in the dressing room. And someone like what's his name, Xabi Alonso, he's a young coach. I don't think he has that experience to even manage this ego if they are going to bring him on board. So I believe there are a lot of things that are not helping Madrid this season. And injuries to apart a whole lot. So I think going forward next season they should sit back and try and go back to the drawing board and correct certain things.
Okay, Sam, we're looking at this Madrid situation. There have been a lot of rumors about Toni Kroos was that key man in the setup, and he not being part of the team. We've seen the team now collapse. There have been even rumors that Real Madrid are looking at even getting Bruno Fernandes, that is your team captain, to their setup. Do you think Toni Kroos played a big role in their Champions League winning season? And he being out of the team right now has caused Carlo Ancelotti to now potentially lose his job.
Yeah, I think there is this similarity between what is currently going on in City to what is really also going on in Madrid. I think there are coaches that have this system whereby if their key player leaves the team, the team gets a bit shaky. And we saw this season when KDB was injured and there was no one in to fill that space. I think in every team, no matter how good you are, you need that player that can spark something out of nowhere. And I think Kroos had that edge that could pull a pass from the heart from nowhere and could create goals also. I think one of the main factor with Madrid was they were lacking that player, that edge, that someone that could make things happen when things were going tough. Someone who could control the team and hold everything together. They need that midfield. What's the right word? Midfield intellect. Someone who can see a pass from nowhere, someone who can read runs. I think yes, Bruno has that spark, but Bruno coming into a team that has all these kings in one boat, I think will be a catastrophe. So I think yes, they need to hit the market again, and I think it's quite shocking if we are saying Madrid needs to hit them market. But yes, they need to go into the market, make the right base, bring in the right players. As Prince said, waiting for players to run out of contract is it's giving them a whole lot of problems. I think they should go in there, get a creative midfielder, sort the issues between the team and the players also, and they're good to go. They still have amazing talent in that team. Let's not forget that with Vini,
Benedict,
Mbappe, and Rodrigo, with Valverde, Asensio, the new kid in their midst. I think they still have that top players that they need just one thing to gel and they're good to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Benedict.
Yeah, Raf.
Let me add just something little to what Sam was saying. So, on what Sam was saying, that they needed a creative spark in that midfield. I think that is why they are all in for Trent Arnold. I feel Trent Arnold will not be playing as a right back. He will once a while, but in terms of the passing range, if there's any fullback who's closer to Trent in terms of that passing range, I'm yet to see one. Trent can do that on a cool's job perfectly. Picking that pass, just one long ball and they are good to. But I think Trent can be able to. That is why they are all in for Trent Arnold.
Okay, so let's look at some of the rumors going on with new managers they are looking out for. We've heard Klopp. I think the concrete one would be for Xabi Alonso, which we've been hearing from last season coming into this season. With Klopp, Raf, are you a bit surprised if Jurgen Klopp is to pick this Real Madrid team after telling the Liverpool fans he felt so tired and he felt like he wants to move away from club football? Would you be surprised if Klopp is to accept this Real Madrid job?
Wow, difficult one. Why am I saying this? The first reason why it is difficult is that Klopp told us, aside Liverpool, he's not going to manage any other team. Therefore, he's a global ambassador for Salzburg. The Salzburg Red Bull project is a very huge one. They have one in Austria and
one in Germany.
Liverpool's training ground, that is the AXA training ground. Liverpool went on a training tour to Austria, and Klopp saw how they were equipped in terms of machinery and the structure. And Klopp said, no, he wants Liverpool to get this similar training pitch. And that is, Liverpool copied what we have from Salzburg, Leipzig in Austria. So it means that he's trying to model Liverpool around that project, even though Liverpool is not like them. But Klopp loved how the people have assembled their teams from the one in Austria to the. So he doing that job, I think he's going to help himself. And also, I'll be disappointed if he picks the Madrid job, but in other way too, I'll be happy for him. Why will I be happy? The Madrid job is a big one. It is going to make his CV a better one. Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool, Real Madrid. I mean,
but do you think with this ego in this Real Madrid team, we've seen him battled ego between Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane some time back. And do you think this ego, especially with Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham, especially this three, do you think he'll be able to manage this ego?
Klopp is one of the best man managers you can ever get as a coach or as a manager. He knows how to manage ego very well. Yeah. Klopp is a very good man manager. He knows what to tell you, why you should play for him, why you should play for the badge. He's a very good man manager. And I believe strongly, if he gets that nod as a Madrid coach, he is going to find his ways to talk to these guys for them to understand the principles and whatever is coming back. I believe he can be able to handle the pressure. He can be able to handle the ego. He's a well-known figure in world football. He's a respected person. In that Madrid dressing room, yes, every manager is a manager, but they need a face or somebody who they can also give that respect to. And Klopp can get that respect from the players. Unlike Xabi Alonso, with all due respect to him, between him and Klopp will get another head of Xabi Alonso in terms of that ego, managing that ego and all.
And let's look at Xabi Alonso. You mentioned it. Do you think it will be a big mistake leaving a team that you've been able to build for 2-3 seasons to this Real Madrid team because you feel like you're a legend there and they are calling on you, so you need to leave Bayern Leverkusen and join this Real Madrid team? And if he's to join this Real Madrid team, how would he tackle these egos, especially these players you mentioned? How would he find a solution to this? Is it to rotate between Mbappe and Vinicius, or now play all of them and make sure that they are happy on the pitch?
2 seasons with maybe 2 or 3 seasons with Bayer Leverkusen is not enough for me, in my opinion. Yes, he has to be like the Mikel Arteta of Arsenal or the Alex Ferguson of Man United. He should stay there for some time. He should break down monopoly from Bayern Munich. After winning the league last season in Germany, this season he's not being able to win the league, and that is why sometimes I rate Klopp very way ahead of most managers. He won the Bundesliga back-to-back in Germany. But Alonso, after winning the first one, is failing to win the second one. It means that somebody will say that what he did was a fluke or was just a flash in the pan. I wish he could have stayed, played for some time, gotten used to the atmosphere and how it feels to win the league in the German Bundesliga. Unlike running to Real Madrid, winning just the league in the Bundesliga is not enough, in my opinion. You get me? For example, somebody will say Claudio Ranieri won the league with Leicester City. He has also done well. But for him to be consistent without victory, to be consistent is the issue at hand now. And now he going to Real Madrid. Alonso will find it very difficult. He has not managed such egos before. The players he has in his team, Jeremy Frimpong, the Florian Wirtz, they are not big names. These guys are big boys in their respective national teams, and they command a lot of respect home. So they feel like, Charlie, who are you? I've won the Champions League. Vinny Jr. can tell you I've won the Champions for more than 3 times. This one I have won this. So sometimes they don't even respect the manager. So I feel even if he goes there, he will need help from some of the managers who have been in Real Madrid, like the Florentino Perez himself has to drop down to help Alonso settle as a manager and maybe talking to the players managerial-wise. So I feel even if he goes to Madrid, he's going to struggle a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, Prince, let's look at the between Klopp and Xabi Alonso. If you are part of the Real Madrid board, which of these coaches are you going to go for? And the reason for picking one and not the other?
I think I'll pick Klopp over Alonso because of experience. Because of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you look at the 2 coaches, it's clear. It's clear that Klopp has a lot of experience from Dortmund. I don't know if he coached Wolfsburg before he came to Dortmund.
Yeah, he did Mainz, Dortmund, and Liverpool.
So, at least I can confidently say that before, when he started his coaching career, Xabi Alonso probably might be playing whether Liverpool or Madrid or
Bayern.
something.
He was playing Bayern at that time.
You get it. So this man has a lot of experience on his hands. And aside experience too, I think how to manage the dressing room is also another issue. Because you could see players like Kylian Mbappe who at a young age has over 200 goals to his name. This is so ridiculous. You understand? You have players like Vinicius who can boast of Champions League glory, who has scored in Champions League final back to back. So there you go in the dressing room. You need a top manager who can stand who can stand on his ground and be like, hey, I have to do this, I have to do that. You get it? I think this guy tried doing a similar thing in Bayer Leverkusen, where he had to bench Boniface and I think one striker because they had
that's Bundia.
Yeah. So he lost against Bayern Munich when he did that in the Champions League.
Yeah.
He lost against Bayern when he did that. So I don't know how he's going to come to Madrid and there are issues and he has to be like, I'm going to bench Jude Bellingham and not play him. I'm going to bench Vinicius because I think before we played Madrid, there was an issue of Bellingham and Rudiger having an issue whilst they were training. You get it. And both of them played the game against Arsenal. So you being Xabi Alonso, are you going to bench these two players and decide not to play them when you don't have materials on the bench? So it needs a club who has that understanding of football into details to come up with some of these things to solidify the team and hold the boys together. And I don't see that in Xabi Alonso. He's still young for that.
Okay, Sam, let's look at the Real Madrid Eagles. Do you think if they are to bring in a new manager, they need to sell some of these players? Because the egos of 3 captains in a team cannot function well. So does Real Madrid need to sell some of the players to be able to balance the squad? And which player do you think they need to sell out of the players they have to at least balance their squad?
I think selling any of these top names would be quite difficult for any coach. It might be the right decision, but it will also be a very difficult one. I think Mbappe just came. I don't think they'll sell him considering how much they really needed him. I think with every team and every manager, you need that manager that will tell you that, listen, we are all in this together, and if we win, we win as a team. I think they not just managing egos, just making them believe that there is something bigger than you, and it's the team that you are playing for. I remember Ferguson always finds ways to sell our big names at the end of each and every season, and I think that helped in a way. I think Madrid, not per se they are just egos. I think they are young too. I think they are young, and it's getting. They all want names for themselves. Mbappe, one main reason why he came to Madrid was to maybe he felt like him being in Paris didn't give him that edge to win the Ballon d'Or. Vinicius also won this Ballon d'Or. I think Jude also wants to be in that conversation of being a player that wants the Ballon d'Or. Madrid has. This is not the first time you are seeing a cluster of good players or good names in Madrid. I think they are used to that system of having big names in one team. I think it's just they need that person in that room that will tell them, listen, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than any of us. You are playing for Madrid, so let's go in and play. I'll be quite surprised if a club says he's what a world ambassador for Liverpool. So no to that.
No, to Salzburg.
Yes.
To Salzburg.
Yes, to Salzburg.
Okay,
No, Sam, let me get this one straight. He's the global ambassador, not for Liverpool, for Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg.
Whether Salzburg
for Red Bulls.
That is his current rule. That is his current rule.
No, let me. I'm saying whether Salzburg or Liverpool.
You should take their job.
This is Madrid. Call it. It's a good plus on your CV, and I think that will. I think even though he has made lots of names or he has trophies in his belt, he doesn't really get into that top conversations when you are talking about coach.
Thank you for joining this show. We are all looking out for Carlo Ancelotti leaving Real Madrid and getting a good job, and also a coach that would come in would make sure that this Real Madrid team has a good plan and would also succeed as they've always been succeeding. So thank you all for joining the show.